entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight, June 27th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Eric, second by Terry, by voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have an agenda. Consent items are up next. Any board member wish to remove an individual consent item for discussion? Hearing none, we'll read them into the record. We are approving the minutes for the Board of Education meeting on June 13th, 2022. Approval of receipts and expenditures for May of 2022. Approval of professional staff resignations. Renee Gavigan, Abraham Lincoln art teacher. Jacob Whitstone, middle school social studies teacher. Approval of support staff hiring. Layla Hummel, middle school special education aide. Andrew Swanston, high school educational assistants. Stephen Nelson, middle school custodian. Approval of professional staff hiring. Tanner Gadke, Abraham Lincoln third grade teacher. Jason Hugler, middle school 8th grade ELA teacher. Kimberly Sybecker, high school social studies teacher. And Aaron Hankey, high school instrumental music teacher. And a note on Aaron, there's an updated hiring sheet in board docs for review that was updated recently with most current information. I would entertain a motion and a second if somebody would like to make it.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Terry, second by Tim. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none by voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next is public comment. We have one individual registered for public comment. It's Corinne Wartenweiler. And if you're not familiar with public comment, you're making a statement or a speech about your opinion on a topic pertinent to the business of the board that the board conducts within the legitimate jurisdiction of the board. And because our board meetings are a meeting held in public and not a public meeting, there wouldn't be dialogue with you about your comment. That means while we may not respond directly, we'll take your comments directly. We'll take them into consideration as those matters appear before the board. So you're free to start. We ask that you limit your comment to 5 minutes and start with your name for the record. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Corinne Wartenweiler. Do I just stay here? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all individually and collectively for your work as the Monroe School Board of Education. Thank you for your time, for your work, your effort, and for your care and concern for the students of Monroe School District. As I said, my name is Corinne Wartenweiler, and I live in Monroe. I have lived here for decades, and newsflash, decades go by quickly. In fact, it has been 6 decades since the Supreme Court of the United States made a decision that affected all children in all schools in all of the United States. I'm here to say, I think it's time. I think it's time to rethink that decision from 1962. I think it's time to bring back prayer in public schools. That decision started when 5 families in the state of New York brought a complaint against the New York Board of Regents regarding prayer at the opening of the school day. The prayer in question said simply this: Almighty God, we acknowledge our dependence on you, and we ask your blessing on us, on our parents, on our teachers, and on our country. Simple, profound, and somehow offensive. Offensive enough to be brought as a lawsuit against the public school in New York State and eventually to reach the Supreme Court. Creating a decision that has affected all of us for 6 decades. I won't take time to list the many ways the public school system has been affected or disaffected by that monumentous decision, but the ramifications are endless and far-reaching, and the current state of our society speaks for itself. I'm here to say to you, I think it's time. I think it's time to welcome back the blessing of God Almighty to us, to our parents, to our teachers, and to our country. Why not start here? Why not start in Greene County, in Monroe, Wisconsin, in the school district of Monroe? I think it's time. Thank you.
All right. We do not have any old business this evening. We'll start with new business. We've got Sam here for the school nurse report one last time, right, Sam? All right. Turn it over to you.
Am I good here?
Yeah, you're good there if you like.
Wherever you're comfortable.
Wherever you're
What
comfortable.
are we gonna do, fire you, Sam?
Yep,
I know, I
yeah.
thought about that. I was at a ball game in Argyle, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go, and yeah, my husband was like, what are we gonna do, fire ya? Okay. So yeah, last one from me. Basically, I think what this shows is we're getting a little more back to normal from like pre-COVID types of stuff based on our office visits. Granted, this does not include all the hours of contact tracing and notifications that we've done. But it's just good to kind of see where the numbers shake out. So maybe. Yes. So again, nothing like super crazy. You've kind of got your anomaly in the green of COVID last year, even a little bit of the red for the year before that. But overall, I think we're headed up to a little more normal. I don't see any major outliers that I've been like, whoa.
So I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
What happened in 2019 at Parkside that the numbers were like so out of skew?
Yeah, so we had a diabetic
Okay.
who we worked with multiple times a day. And we had kiddos that were getting G-tube flushes. So yeah, 2 high needs kids threw that number through the roof. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Students sent home. The only thing that I kind of noticed from here, Northside got hit kind of hard. And I think a lot of those are close contacts. They really do. Medications, again, the middle school, their blue line was, we had 2 diabetics, 2 or 3 in the building at that time. So that was where that high number came from. And then as they get older and move on to the high school, they're not quite as dependent on us. Total visits, a lot. They're busy. Students with specific diagnoses within the district. This kind of goes like the big things that we're watching out for and we're preparing for with emergency plans and communicating with parents and staff to be prepared. Things look pretty static, if not like they're coming down a little bit. Also with some of this, I've tried to be more cognizant of like my parameters of how we're putting data in so that I'm making sure I've got people in the right buckets. Vaccination compliance, oh man, we were really close this year. It's 98%. We were really, really close to that 99% compliance where we should be. So we've made some good progress on that too. Last year, the 97 was not surprising at all. People just did not go to the doctor. So we're doing okay there. Thought this was interesting. Hopefully this isn't something we need in the future, and I didn't track the year before, I don't believe, or I didn't pull it like this, but just kind of crazy what we went through this year.
January was fun, huh?
Yeah, January and February was amazing. Yeah, just kind of interesting to see the number of people that were at school while they were infectious, and then the number of spread we have. And again, that January just completely hammered us. Yeah, so the people that held it all together with me, myself, Michelle at Abe, Brenda at Northside, Michelle at Parkside, Jenna at the middle school, Nicole at the high school. Again, lunch times are the busiest other than that first hour, hour and a half in the morning when people are calling saying, can I bring my kid to school or not? But yeah, they held it together. Everybody's coming back next year. So that's great to hear too. That's all I have, guys.
So I'll throw a couple comments out if I can. I think a couple takeaways are obviously that it's been an interesting couple of years. There's been a lot of activity. One thing to note, the board will remember that you authorized an increase of our health assistants going to full-time for the remainder of the last school year, but we're not carrying that forward. It's our hope that we're going to be able to return to something approximating normal business. Certainly, I think there were some benefits of having our health assistants there full-time. Certainly, our health assistants and our secretaries very much appreciated that support from the board. But obviously, we need to be prudent and make appropriate decisions relative to our budget, and so we're moving back to the normal programming. Sam was quick to praise her team as appropriate. They did a great job. I think it's worth noting, and we've certainly praised Sam numerous times, but I can't imagine going through the last 2 years without Sam. From day one, she was a rock. There were some days where we were a little fuzzy, right? And some really tough conversations, some tough decisions, but Sam hung in there in some really tough meetings and really became a pseudo member of the admin team meeting with us often and helping us problem solve. And her leadership and her ability to deal with people when they weren't always the most calm and kind was greatly appreciated. And I just want to say publicly that I'm so thankful to have Sam, not only over the last couple of years, but during her entire tenure here, because she's been an absolute superstar, and I feel so fortunate to have worked with her. So we're proud of her, and we're excited for her next chapter in her career. But we've also dropped hints that maybe this isn't the last time we'll get to work with Sam, and who knows what life will bring in the future. But we wish her all the best. And Sam, you know this, you've been an amazing school nurse, an amazing friend, and great support during this time. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm not changing my phone number, so you guys know where to find me. And thank you to you guys. I have all the way through these last couple of years, which have been ethically and emotionally hard. I knew you guys had my back. I knew admin had our back. Our staff were great. It's been a good place to work. So thank you for that too.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sam's doing a great job transitioning Dana. There's been a lot of work, a lot of time spent together. So we feel very fortunate that we've had that time. So even as she's got one foot out the door, she's still working her tail off to take care of us. So we appreciate that.
Still hanging out at summer school.
Yep.
Thanks so much for everything you've done for us. All the hard work on your part and your team's part, especially over the last 2 years, but during your entire time here, like Joe said. Thank you so very, very much. We're excited for your next chapter.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is approval of the CISA 3 contract for speech language pathologist services. I believe this is it a co-op or no? Yes. We pay
Yes,
for a
I
portion
can
of
give
the
you a quick
resource.
rundown. So we have a history of contracting a speech language therapist by the name of Becky Ruff. She's absolutely fantastic. She provides support primarily at the high school. We hired Becky after we lost our speech language therapist, and we're in a tough position, and we were able to secure her part-time from the Seneca School District. And for those of you that know where Seneca is, it's over on the western side of the state. And so a good portion of her time, her therapy is provided via teletherapy, and turns out it was very effective. And not only did the students like it and the parents were pleased, but our high school staff was really happy with Becky, and she's become a great part of the team. She recently made an employment move from Seneca to CISA 3. We were able to make arrangements to continue to work with her, which is a great arrangement for us because it's hard to find speech language therapists, period. It's even harder to find a part-time speech language therapist. And to find one that's such a good fit and so talented as Becky, we feel pretty fortunate. So if we weren't to enter into this contract, our only other option would be contracted services, which would cost us close to double what we're paying right here because the agencies tack their fee on, and it's not a very enjoyable experience. So I would encourage the board to approve this contract and continue our professional relationship with Becky Ruff. She's been absolutely outstanding.
And this is a budgeted cost
It is.
and same or small increase from the previous.
There's a little bit of
contract?
an increase, but it's in line with what we paid in the past. And it is a position that's eligible for categorical aid, so we get roughly 28% of that back.
Questions, further discussion? If not, if somebody would like to make the motion in the agenda, I'll entertain it.
I'll make the motion
Okay.
to approve the CISA 3 contract for speech language pathologist services at a cost of $55,975 for the 22-23 school year as presented by Joe Monroe.
Okay, got a motion by Teresa.
Second.
Terry? Additional discussion, questions? Hearing none, by voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item is acceptance of Technology Education Foundation grant. This is from Burby.
So I don't have any background on this other than this is an annual grant that we've been fortunate to receive over the years. Cindy, I don't know if Todd gave you any background on this or not.
No, nothing other than that it needs to be used for hardware to support the launch program at the high school.
And I know this is a continuation of several years of grants that they've written to the district. So,
Terry historically had done a lot of work with the Burby Derby, and I think Todd stepped in to continue that, so that's great.
and all their donations are funded by a 10K run, 5K run walk on Thanksgiving Day. Do we send folks to participate in
We
that?
have in the past. I don't know that it's consistent every year. I honestly couldn't tell you that.
Where is it located at? Like around here?
Should be in Madison.
It's in Madison.
Oh.
All right. Well, many thanks to Burby and their team for continuing to support local education programs. Any additional comments, questions, discussions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Eric, second by Dylan to accept the Technology Education Foundation grant in the amount of $10,000 to be used for hardware to support the high school launch program. By voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Informational items. On the boardsmanship side, FIG starts July 1st, so he will be joining us at the next board meeting. Exciting for him to get in the district, and he's already had 5 days with us. Now he'll be engaged fully and start to get to know him even better.
He plans to be in on Wednesday for the launch program meeting and meet some of the local business leaders, so he's looking forward to that. Other than that, he's trying to survive the transition of closing on his house, moving down to Monroe and getting into his new home, so he's a busy guy right now, but we're extremely excited about getting him in and starting to work with him.
There's some details about transfers within the district in that item for board members to review. If you have any questions, you can contact administration about those. I have no Board of Education. Go ahead. Did you have a
Well,
question?
no, I can ask later, that's fine.
You can ask now too. if you
No, I was just confused about the reading, and confused about the reading interventionists. Oh, 8th grade, no, I'm not anymore. Got it. See, I just needed to look closely, sorry.
Yeah, if you do have any questions, I'd be happy to attempt to answer them to the best of my ability. I think I have a fairly decent understanding of some of those decisions.
want. Yeah, no worries. Okay, I have no Board of Education correspondence at this time. Committee reports, Eric?
Nope.
Dylan?
The library committee met last week and they are on schedule to start building with their new phase of the library December of 22, lasting 6 months. So they're on schedule for the project.
And that's a remodel, right?
Remodel and addition. I mean, they're adding space, I believe,
Okay,
a room,
okay.
yeah.
News to me.
Is it new construction being attached to the building? Like, obviously attached to the building, I would hope, but,
That I'm not sure.
okay,
I came on kind of in the middle of it all.
okay. Yeah, if you find out if it's new construction, it'd be good to know. Teresa?
Nothing?
Tim? Nope. All right. Agenda items for future discussion from any board members. Liaison reports, has anybody heard from?
Didn't receive any messages. The only thing I would add is summer school is going very well. Todd's done a great job coordinating it and got a great team of people that are keeping things moving. So we're in week 3 right now. And it seems like we should be at week 3 already, but we are. But it's going well. And we survived the internet phone outage, which caused a little bit of panic today, but we're all good.
5 minutes for the press. I don't see any of them in attendance. So at 7:23, somebody'd like to make a final motion.
So moved.
A second.
Motion by Terry and a second by Teresa to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
23-minute meeting. That's the baseline now for when FIG comes in.
Like-
Gotta be-
Say, we